Note, although the ballot count continues, some candidates are already preparing for the November election.
Absolutely. Eyewitness News political reporter Josh Haskell has been following the campaigns very closely. He joins us now in studio with the very latest. Josh?
Yeah, Mark and Colleen, it feels like days have passed since polls closed, but it hasn't even been 24 hours. We're waiting for results which could completely change where things currently stand or solidify who will face off in November. Primary campaigns are over. Some candidates have declared victories, others have conceded. But we still don't know who Mayor Karen Bass will face in the runoff for Los Angeles mayor.
I think Bass would much rather run against Spencer Pratt than against Rahman. He's an unpredictable kind of a candidate. Nobody saw this coming. If he and Karen are in the runoff, she would be the odds-on favorite to win. But I wouldn't rule out the possibility that that Pratt could catch fire as he did in the primary. But the general is a different ballgame. The electorate is different. There'll be a lot more voters, a lot more progressive voters.
We also don't know which two candidates will make it to the runoff in the California governor's race. Steve Hilton is in the lead, followed by Xavier Becerra and then Tom Steyer.
Well, I think Hilton is ahead simply because there were only two major Republican candidates in the race, and he was the one that got the attention, more of the attention of the Republican electorate. When the general election comes along in November, there will be a lot more Democrats voting for one Democratic candidate instead of splitting them up among 4 or 5.
Hilton held a press conference on the steps of the Capitol in Sacramento Wednesday morning.
We're very encouraged by these results. Nothing is final yet, but it does look as if change is coming to California.
President Trump congratulated Hilton on the election results so far, posting this message on Truth Social. Political experts believe Trump's support of Hilton could hurt him if he makes it to the runoff. Hilton disagrees.
I think it's going to be very helpful for Californians to have a governor who has a good working relationship with the president and his team. Now, it happens to be that we see eye to eye on many of the issues.
Now, Steve Hilton will hold another event tonight, a pizza party on the steps of the Capitol in Sacramento.
This
Mark
has
and
always
Colleen.
been exciting to watch, Josh. Now, okay, so we know President Trump, he also supports Spencer Pratt. But did Mr. Trump post today about Spencer Pratt right now?
He did not.
He did Hilton.
He did not. He has not commented on any of the election results in the mayor's races. You may remember I asked Spencer Pratt about this.
Yeah.
I said, do you welcome Trump's support? And Spencer made it very clear that the mayor's race is a nonpartisan race, that he does not have an R next to his name on the ballot. He said, I'm not part of any party. He said, my party is Angry Angelenos. And he made it clear he's one of those angry Angelenos, very different than what we've seen from Steve Hilton, who has very much embraced the President Trump support.
Yeah, you wonder if that will change here moving to November, if any of that dialogue will change moving forward. So we'll see. Josh, thank you. Be sure to stay with Eyewitness News for all of your election coverage. We will continue to bring you up-to-the-minute results as the ballots get counted. We also have live results at the top of the hour, at the top of our homepage, I should say, abc7.com. You can always stay up to date on air and wherever you stream ABC7 Los Angeles.